There's a Jewish saying that says, "Truth is heavy, so few men carry it." Sometimes the truth of who we are is more than we can bear, but genuine relationship with God requires truth. In John 4, Jesus interacts with a woman who is covering up the truth of who she is. Jesus has stopped at a well to rest from traveling, and he begins an interaction with this woman that exposes the need for truth in her life. Here we see Jesus confronting the truth in this woman, who, like many of us, has lived her life in conformity, struggling to fit in with society. Jesus is traveling, and he stops in a city in Samaria, and he's taking a rest. And he unfolds in this woman the importance of truth in relationship and in worship. Jesus asked this woman for a drink, and this woman was taken back because Jews just didn't talk to Samaritans at this time. But Jesus looked at her and he said, "If you knew the generosity of God and who I am, you would be asking me for a drink, and I would give you fresh, living water." And then he went on to say this, "Anyone who drinks this water will never thirst again, not ever. But inside of them will be a spring of life that will sustain them for the rest of their life." Well, this woman looked at him and said, "Sir, give me this drink so I won't ever have to drink again." Jesus responds to the woman who has just asked for this drink of living water by exposing in her the lack of commitment in her life. You see, she had 5 husbands, and the man she was with wasn't even her husband. There was a struggle going on in this woman's life. It was with the reality of her situation and the truth of God. Without embracing God's truth, we live in deception. We live in error, much like this woman. You see, Jesus said, "Go bring your husband back." But the truth was, she didn't even have a husband at that time. She had 5 previous husbands, and the man she was with wasn't even her husband now. The weight of truth about who we really are is sometimes heavy to carry. You see, there's a need for acceptance in us that can only be truly realized in and by God. No amount of praise from people, no amount of praise from the audience or by others will ever replace the truth of who God wants to be in our life. You see, she had lived with labels, and sometimes those labels seem safe and they seem comforting to us because it's easier to fit in with what people expect of us than to step out into the truth of who God really has called us and wants us to be. The truth is heavy, so very few ever carry it. So what are you choosing to carry in your life? You see, your past doesn't have to define your future. Try carrying the truth. It may be lighter than the load that you've been carrying around.